Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears. With that, we'll get out to Matt Nagy's home opener as coach of the Bears as we get to Soldier Field with Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11, and he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Clifford. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. The first carry now. This is Johnson. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On second down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Throwing is Murray on third down. David Johnson here on the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the #1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second and 6, Murray. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9. On the run, it's Robinson. And a short gain here, down to the 22. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one is right through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me?
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Well, look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out now come the Cardinals. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Still on his feet. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, he was without a doubt one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
From midfield now on 2nd down. Murray, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there, and that'll make it 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
You got it. You got it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw is Murray. Flush to his right. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. A first catch there for the NFL's leading receiver in Week 1 in terms of yardage. Also a first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On first down, Johnson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll go down at the 28.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it now with Robinson. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
So that drive 7 plays in length and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On second down, it's Cohen, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Here's Johnson. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker. Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. On first down, it's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And able to find Kirk complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down now, it's Robinson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd. So a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So here are the Cardinals to take over. Last week, good result. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions, and now they are on the good side of the scoreboard right now as well. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Murray now on first down. Open man, Butler complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Hakeem Butler, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Off the bootleg. Clifford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
116. Heavy. Go.
Get it. Looking to throw. Clifford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Ready.
To throw again. Clifford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Clifford. Robinson's got it. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Cohen, about 3 yards there to the 27. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. On second down, Samuels. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw. Clifford. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Draw play. Cohen. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Giorgio Tavecchio for the field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you get some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Murray now, 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. Andrew Luck, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Deshaun Watson, couple of touchdown passes as his guys win their 2nd straight to start the year. And finally, a good one scheduled for Monday Night Football between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. In the game you're watching, it was the former number 1 overall selection, Kyler Murray, who put on an absolute show. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at the 3. Fights free yet again. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Cardinals 31.
And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is
You're gonna do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready, break. 43. Check, 43. Three buzz.
First down, a run with Cohen. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
They try again with Cohen. And he's got room. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 47 yards on the ground. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Watch the slant. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it second and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Break.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
I'm going to come back to you. 5.
Off the play fake. Clifford looking for his running back, and he's got him. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Squeeze, double.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Gotta love a guy who'll stand in there and deliver. No matter what the pressure, waits for the route to come open, hangs in there, and completes the pass.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first.
1st down, Arizona.
Get ready.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
I'm here all day.
Now Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Who got 17?
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in the game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Clifford looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jordan. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare 1st down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. This is Cohen. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory.
Go now. 60 more.
Right here. We got to step it up.
Ready?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here comes the Bears punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that. Super toe. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. If they needed a break, they needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Off play action. Clifford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made. No grounding. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Open man is Kirk, complete. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson, and he fights his way in, not giving up, and it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and through, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Drop deep, drop deep.
2nd and 3. He's got Smith here. That one a first down pickup of 8. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And his throw is incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Clifford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. So possession goes over here on the punt. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll run it with Johnson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It fights him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Khalil Mack able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On the draw, this is Cohen. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On the set. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 31. Check 31. Hit it.
Throwing on first down. Clifford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
At the 34-yard line.
2nd and 5. Throw left side complete. That's Jordan. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He's got Burton here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Clifford. This one into the hands of Burton. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Double up, double up. He's coming.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they found it.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jalen Samuels, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are able to make things a bit more respectable.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
I bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd down.
fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big gain of 39 on third. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
The ball carried by the wide receiver. A gain on the play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Again, it's Johnson. And a short gain here, down to the 22. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. The Cardinals on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
As they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Back to throw. Clifford. This is caught by Robinson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Clifford. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll run on first down. It's Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Offensive guard brings up 2nd and 11.
6 man.
At the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that's caught by Smith. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 33. Back to throw. Clifford. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Looking to throw. Clifford. That is caught by Cohen. And down inside the 15 he goes. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cardinals, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.